Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including new impressive Cybertruck features, new Model X features, FSD feature details from Elon, Plaid Model S updates, Tesla records, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, Tesla's updated Pure Vision full self-driving beta is coming. Tesla is clearly working hard on it, but it has seen all sorts of delays from when Elon keeps thinking it will be ready. Regarding the timeline, Elon said, quote, FSD 9 beta is shipping soon, I swear. Generalized self-driving is a hard problem as it requires solving a large part of real-world AI. Didn't expect it to be so hard, but the difficulty is obvious in retrospect. Nothing has more degrees of freedom than reality. Most people with some knowledge of full self-driving engineering are probably laughing to themselves, seeing that Elon seems to finally be realizing how difficult this is. Still, that doesn't change the amount of work Tesla is putting in and the future features they are planning with full self-driving Beta 9. When asked when autopilot will successfully recognize digital variable speed signs, Elon responded, quote, caused by switching frequencies of light sources, surround video, multiple cameras across several frames, improving frames per second, and exposure setting tweaks solves this in FSD build. Essentially, a lot of adjustment already is in place in the full self-driving beta build, and it should help solve this problem. It really just depends on it getting to customers. For Timeline, Elon just gave us a bunch of updates. Yesterday, he said, releasing Beta V9 end of week, which was still a little vague, and then he clarified saying Saturday. So we know that the FSD beta is officially going to be released to a limited number of customers this Saturday. When asked if it would include this new improved UI, he said improved FSD screen, attempting to show the mind of the car. So it will have the old UI that the Model 3 and Model Y have had, but with this updated FSD mind of car view. He once again clarified the timeline, saying Beta 9 will start uploading at midnight California time on Friday. Bear in mind, it is still just a beta. And then lastly, he talked about when the general public can get this beta and said depends on how the limited beta goes. If it goes well, maybe a month or so. Very exciting to see that the beta will arrive this Saturday officially to beta testers, and then hopefully around a month or so for the rest of the public, but based on Elon's timeline so far, I'd give it at least till the end of the year to actually get excited about this. The new Tesla Model S Plaid and Long Range have both launched, and those vehicles come with an entirely updated UI. It's designed specifically for the larger horizontal screen in the Model S and X, but certain aspects feel like they could make their way to the Model 3 and Y. When asked about this, Elon said, quote, updated UI coming with FSD wide release. All cars with full self-driving computer will have new mind of car view. All 3/Y can be upgraded to have FSD computer. There are a number of details revealed here, and it's a lot to speculate on. First, Elon seems to say that the UI from the Model S will make its way over to the Model 3 and Y. However, they will come only with the FSD wide release. If history shows us anything, the FSD beta came last year, and the wide release still has not come, so we could be waiting quite a while. If they are truly as far ahead on version 9 as Elon expresses, then beta testers will get it, and wide release could come later this year to all Tesla owners. Then the new UI would come with that release. However, he also mentions the new mind of car view. This is following up on a tweet Elon posted in April. He said, quote, FSD display v9.0 will show actual probability distribution of objects. True mind's eye of the neural net, this is so cool. So when the FSD release comes, it should get this new view along with the Model S refresh type user interface. Then his last sentence points out that any Model 3 or Y can get the upgrade to the full self-driving computer. So if you purchased your car before this was standard, your car seemingly will not be able to upgrade to the latest UI and get the mind of car view. They will require a hardware upgrade, but all of these cars can be upgraded. The only question will be how much it costs if you do not plan to purchase the FSD package, and if Tesla will allow you to upgrade in that case. Based on this tweet, it seems like this could be the first software version that leaves older hardware behind in a significant way. It's always interesting to see these updates, but I don't really get my hopes up. I'm pretty sure this is a different version 9 altogether, but Elon has been talking about a version 9 of full self-driving since 2018. Now regarding the Cybertruck, Tesla and Elon Musk have been very quiet. It was announced back in 2019 with a supposed production date of late 2021. Right now, that isn't seeming too likely, but back at the end of May, we got some new details about the car through a patent application. I have a longer video about it linked above or in the description below, but it shows off the UI, the possible solar bed cover, armor glass, suspension details, a possible app store, and more. This was the most we heard about this car since the original announcement event. Reportedly, Tesla has been working on more prototypes, and the last details from Elon stated that we'd get an updated look at it in Q2, and it would be a little smaller than shown originally. We are still waiting on that look, and it is now Q3, as Tesla continues to build the factory that will build this truck over in Texas, and the latest update there comes with the install of superchargers. A drone flyer was looking at construction and noticed that supercharger stalls were on a truck and being installed. It's not known what these are for, but they could be installed for employees right now. Since they are outside and in a normal stall formation, they likely won't be for newly produced Model Ys in Texas, but time will tell. Regardless, progress like this is great to see over there. Regarding the Cybertruck design though, a few weeks ago Elon tweeted to say, quote, "There will be no handles." Likely they're looking to design the Cybertruck similar to the Model X with doors that present themselves for you, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Cybertruck ships with normal handles due to cost. They're still trying to ship this truck for cheaper than the Model S, so we'll see what comes of that. That was our last update as of March, and now we finally got a new update about the Cybertruck from Elon, and it's both huge and small at the same time. Elon tweeted in response to someone asking for an update and said, quote, "Friday afternoons are usually Tesla design studio time. Cybertruck will be almost exactly what was shown." So right there, it seems that this 3% smaller design he had mentioned, along with a lack of door handles, could have been changed. Him saying almost exactly could allow room for those things, but I'd be surprised if we see them. The big news came with the second part of the tweet saying, quote, "We're adding rear wheel steering so it can do tight turns and maneuver with high agility." Right here, Elon appears to be confirming a feature just like GMC revealed for the Hummer EV. They call it Crab Walk, and it allows all four wheels to steer when needed for certain maneuvers. Diagonal is the main demonstration that GMC has shown off with the Hummer EV, and it adds to the incredible off-roading capabilities they are touting with this vehicle. It could also allow it to turn much sharper, but demos of that haven't been shown as much for GMC. That seems to be more of what Elon is talking about here though. The rear wheels turn one way and the front wheels turn another, allowing you to do very tight turns when needed on such a large vehicle. The Crab Walk feature also has its uses, and both should be able to be implemented if the vehicle is capable of steering from all four wheels. The Hummer should also have other suspension modes like Extract mode, which raises the vehicle by 6 inches to get over tough obstacles. With the Cybertruck, Tesla is going to need to prove themselves in the off-roading and truck space. So far, they have made vehicles that are low to the ground and can only truly off-road with some significant modifications. The design of the Cybertruck is stark and shocking and will need to prove itself as far as versatility is concerned. Elon has already mentioned an entirely updated suspension system for the Cybertruck that he says needs to kick butt in Baja. Likely, this could bring big features like the GMC Extract mode we talked about a minute ago. In those Cybertruck patent UI leaks, we could see a detailed interface for the suspension, including live pitch and roll feedback, along with suspension information for each wheel. This photo also shows rock selected under the speedometer, hinting that the Cybertruck may have some very specific software modes for different terrains. This would be great to see along with all of these features to help make the Cybertruck an aggressive, versatile truck that buyers want. With these features, the speed and power of an electric truck, and the stainless steel structure, it could help make the Cybertruck an incredibly competitive option as long as buyers can get with the design. It's exciting to see all of these new features getting announced and developed for the Cybertruck, and hopefully they don't delay anything on the truck for too much longer. Now moving on to the Plaid Model S and X, there are a few updates this week. For one, we got another confirmation from Elon Musk that he really loves the Yoke. He was responding to a tweet from someone saying that the Yoke is fine after you get used to it, and Elon said, quote, "It's awesome." 2 videos ago, I talked about how Tesla is removing or changing features over time, including the normal steering wheel, and the Yoke appears to be here to stay. This car is still just beginning deliveries, and it's in the early adapter zone at this point. So if you want the Yoke, you get the car, but if you don't, you likely aren't buying at this point. I personally think that Tesla will make a normal wheel option once production is fully ramped, but time will tell. Elon loves it, and it seems the majority of customers at least are fine with it, but the overwhelming consensus isn't a 100% love quite yet. The incredible performance specs of the Plaid Model S have been proving themselves in testing. No, you can't drag your car on a normal road and hit a 1.99 second 0 to 60, but the power it has and the power curve it maintains is incredibly impressive. However, new rumors are stating that this version of the vehicle is toned down in software and the hardware is still capable of more. Sawyer Merritt tweeted and said, quote, "So I was told Tesla toned down both the long range and the Plaid Model S. Be on the lookout for a potential software upgrade that improves both models in the range/performance departments in the coming months." If it were just this rumor, it wouldn't hold as much merit. See what I did there? But Sawyer also said, quote, "Before the Plaid event, I was told the figures stated at the delivery event were going to be sandbagged. I heard this again today. Range could increase by quite a bit, 10 to 15% maybe." I'm not holding my breath, but these rumors persisted before the event and after, meaning that Tesla could very well be sitting on more impressive specs for the Model S. Another rumor passed on by Sawyer comes for the Model X. Finally, we haven't heard a peep about the Model X since the refresh announcement in January, and it's mainly just the larger version of the Model S interior design. However, apparently, quote, "The new Model X will come with a heated/cooled frunk. The frunk is already a great place to keep items that need to hold a temperature and items that you don't want to smell up your car. I do it all the time with hot food, and now it looks like Tesla could take that a step further. This would be great for hot food as well as keeping anything cold that you need for long periods of time. It seems like a very simple feature to implement, but we'll see if it makes its way to the final production for the Model X when it hopefully launches later this quarter, even though deliveries now say January to February on their website." The Plaid Model S launched last month, and so far people are seeming to love the vehicle. The Yoke remains the biggest controversy, but I'd be remiss not to mention the fire that actually already occurred on the Plaid Model S. First, we're glad to hear that nobody was injured in this event. The fire took place in Philadelphia, and there were a number of different headlines due to some different reporting. It is still unknown how the vehicle caught fire, but a lawyer reportedly representing the case posted about it on Twitter. They said that it was one of 250 shipped at the time, and it spontaneously combusted. Quote, "Our client was trapped and could have died." Another attorney representing the owner said, quote, "This is a harrowing and frightening situation and an obvious major problem. Our preliminary investigation is ongoing, but we call on Tesla to sideline these cars until a full investigation can occur." So far, we have not heard anything from Tesla, and it appears that they are continuing to deliver Model S's per usual. Again, I'm happy to hear that nobody was injured, and I'll be very curious to follow up with this investigation. If it's a problem, then it's incredibly important that more incidents do not occur, but we should hear more information on that soon. Regarding the driver being trapped inside, I just want to briefly go over the Tesla emergency door releases. They aren't in the most obvious places, and it could have contributed to this situation. Tesla's doors open with a powered button on the doors. You press it and the door unlatches. However, in the case of a fire or 100% loss of power in a Tesla, these buttons will not work. Tesla has backup releases in all of their cars, and here is where they are so you know in advance for the unlikely event that something happens. The Model 3 and Y have backup releases right next to the window buttons on the side door. They are really easy to find when you know what to look for and only there for emergencies. The rear doors on these cars actually do not have a manual release, so if you lose all power and the rear passengers need to get out, they will need to get out through the front doors. In the new 2021 Tesla Model S, these share the same releases as the Model 3 and Y for the front. The Model S also has rear door releases that are found on the edge of the carpet below the rear seats. Here's what the pull tab looks like, and pulling it will manually release the door if needed. Needing to use these manual releases is incredibly rare and only there for emergency situations since they will likely damage the window trim. However, it's important to know where they are if anything were to happen. So far, there isn't much to provide on this Plaid fire besides some speculation from a few publications that I feel isn't really worth getting into until an investigation is concluded. One interesting update for the Model Y comes from Hong Kong. Tesla has officially brought back the standard range Model Y with its lower than acceptable range for Elon at 244 miles. Deliveries are expected to begin there in September, and this will specifically be a right-hand drive Hong Kong exclusive standard range Model Y from what we can tell. It's very interesting to see since Tesla briefly sold this car in the US and then canceled it. At the time, Elon said, quote, "It is still available off menu, but I don't think the range in many drive conditions yet meets the Tesla standard of excellence." According to Elon, it's available to order outside of their website, but has anyone actually successfully done this? I heard from one customer who managed to find an inventory standard range Model Y built in June, but I have not heard of anyone ordering this off menu. Let me know in the comments below if you have had any success with that. Some exciting news for the general EV space comes with Rimac. Reportedly, Rimac is taking over Bugatti to form a new company called Bugatti Rimac. If you don't know about Rimac, they are a startup building electric supercars. The Nevera is able to do a 0 to 60 in 1.85 seconds and achieve a top speed of 258 miles per hour. This beats the Plaid Model S, but comes in at a steep price of $2.44 million, compared with $130,000 in the Plaid Model S. Since it's not a production car yet, Tesla still technically holds that throne, but it's exciting to see this company getting formed. It shows that others are getting serious about electric vehicles and realizing just how impressive they can be for performance. Quote, Bugatti Rimac represents the company that will develop the future of both Bugatti and Rimac vehicles by joining resources and expertise in research and development, production, and other areas. Now back to Tesla. Tesla hit record production and delivery numbers again this quarter. They managed to produce 2,340 Model S's and X's and deliver 1,890 of those vehicles. For the Model 3 and Y, they produced 204,081 vehicles and delivered 199,360 of them. This means that they delivered a total of 201,250 vehicles, another new record for them after last quarter's record, and produced 206,421 in total. Elon tweeted in support saying, quote, congrats Tesla team on over 200,000 cars built and delivered in Q2 despite many challenges. This comes while Tesla is still only operating out of Fremont and Shanghai. By this time next year, they should have 2 new larger factories up and running with Giga Texas and Giga Berlin, producing the Model Y and potentially Cybertruck. It's a very big time for Tesla, and we'll be waiting to see how their financials were at their earnings call, as well as if they have anything new to announce there. For reference, back in January, when the refreshed Model S and X were announced, they announced that at the earnings call, so anything could happen. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see my full review of the latest 2021 Tesla Model 3 after 3 months, you can check out that video linked over here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.